Okay, so moving on from the AWS setup tutorials, we're now connected to AWS with the app and the desktop app. But what we need to do now is we need to go ahead and we're going to use the Amazon S3 service, which is what we're going to be uploading our content to. So you can think of S3 as a Dropbox. Dropbox, I think, actually uses S3, I'm not 100% sure, but it's just a storage container for you to be able to store your files in the cloud, okay? So use S3 to store your video files that are encoded from the desktop app or encoded directly through S3 Bubble, and then use CloudFront to distribute them. Sorry, this will make more sense as we just dive in. Okay, so let's go ahead, go over to the S3 service, and you can see we've got a bucket created up. It's called a bucket, but you could call it a folder. Now, if we go over to quick setups, all we want to set up to start off with is a delivery bucket, okay? Because we're going to be using the desktop app. So it just creates a bucket and a CloudFront distribution attached to that bucket. So it just means that the CloudFront distribution can then serve content from that bucket for you, okay? So that's what we're doing. And we'll call this S3 Bubble 2021, and for this we're going to be using the desktop app, okay? So we'll just call it desktop app. Now you can select a region appropriate for you. We're just going to be using the North Virginia, sorry, I said Northeast, and just give it a second to create. So what's happening now is, because we allowed S3 Bubble to connect to Amazon Web Services, S3 Bubble is running a setup to create a bucket in your Amazon account, and it's also setting up a CloudFront distribution in your Amazon account that's connected to that bucket. So it's doing quite a lot of things here. If you try to do this manually, you might miss some processes. So you'll just see that it's created a bucket policy. Again, this might be confusing for new users, but this bucket policy literally just allows this bucket to connect to the CloudFront distribution that's been set up. And bucket cores, so it sets up cores as well to allow a connection, okay? So if we run a refresh, you'll see that it will say CloudFront distribution is being set up, okay? And it may this may affect services until it's deployed. So if we go over to CloudFront, you'll see that it starts in progress. So what this is doing is it's booting up a CloudFront distribution, and you have to wait until this is changed to the status has changed to enabled, because then it'll be able to serve your content. But it's set up a CloudFront distribution, and that's all we need right now, okay? So we've got our bucket and we've got our CloudFront distribution. What we need to do is we can go over to the desktop app, okay, and we'll just close the app, okay, and open it up again, and I'll log in quickly. Okay, so I've just closed the app and I've logged in. Now you'll see our new bucket here, S3 Bubble 21 desktop app. This can be our output folder, so you can use a random ID, or you can, it just all depends how you want to set up your services. So this could be theme, and we could just call it 2021, okay? So theme 2021, and it could be demos, okay? So you can just do your folder structure however you want, okay? And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our CloudFront distribution, save. Now here's where we can add the different playlist renditions, but let's go ahead and I'm just going to add a file from my desktop. Okay, so I've just added a dummy movie from my desktop, and we can select what renditions we want to use. So if we wanted to do 1080p, we could just say we wanted 720p and 480p, okay? So you can select the playlist renditions. Do some research on HLS if this doesn't make sense. Now what we'll do is here I can go ahead and I'm going to add a poster. Okay, so I've just added a poster. You could add subtitles and audio subs as well if you want, audio dubs, and this is the BIF interval. So if this is quite a short clip that we're using, so you can change it down to a specific amount of seconds that you want the BIF to be created. So this will make more sense when you actually see the player. So let's go ahead and click save and continue. Now we can use DRM, so this is where you paste in your proxy URL. So we're not going to be doing it in this tutorial, but we'll be doing it in the next one. Save and continue and submit. Okay, so that's going off, it's generating our BIF, and then what it's going to do is it's going to encode our media to HLS, and then it's going to upload our media to AWS. So just give this a second while this just encodes the media, just so you can see what is actually happening. So this is encoding the media on your desktop, and once this process is finished, it will then start to push the media to Amazon Web Services, and that's how you set up the connection, okay? Okay, so let's just let it upload. So it's going to start uploading some content. There we go. So as soon as it starts uploading to AWS, we can then go into our bucket, okay, and we can go into our folder structure that we just created. So we're in theme, and then in demo 2021, and then in demos, okay. So you can see it's starting to create our 480 rendition. It's starting to generate our TS files. It's encoding our video for us. So when you refresh, it's going to keep updating and refreshing. But what we want to do is we want to add this video to our theme. Okay, so I'm going to go over to hosting, instant demos, and I'm just going to open up my theme demo. Okay, so I've opened up my theme demo, and let's just open up the website. Okay, so it's just going to open up the website here. So we've got our website set up, and now let's go ahead and add a new video, add some new content for our video play. Okay, so we can go ahead and go into the post. We'll just call this desktop app, and loaded from desktop. Okay, now under videos, if we go back to our desktop app, you can see it's actually created a player for us. We can click copy, paste it into the search for the video. Okay, and what it will do is it will go off and it grabs the correct URL for us that we need, and it grabs the BIF file for us as well. Okay, and it populates all the fields that are needed. Okay, which is what we need. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to browse types, and we'll just add this in movies and examples, and I'll just go ahead and give it an image. So I'm just going to select an image that's already in the library. So this one will do. Okay, and we select publish. I go to view content. Okay, now what you'll see is this is playing the video directly that we uploaded directly from our desktop. If we go under renditions, you can see all we've got is the 480p and 720p renditions. Okay, so it's only done those for us. And we've saved a lot of money because we haven't had to use online encoders. Okay, we've just used the desktop app. So that's how we've used the desktop app to upload a video to our theme. Exactly the same thing with the plugin. When you get the code, you just take this code and you just paste it into the plugin editor. Okay, and it will show exactly the same way. Okay, so in the next video tutorial, we're going to encode our video with DRM so that it can't be downloaded with browser extensions.